Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today I'm going to be taking a look at 3 new fragrances from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi. So let's jump into it. All right, we are back with another unboxing first impressions video of 3 new fragrances from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Have never tried anything from this house. They're somewhat new from what I understand, or at least new to me, and I just saw them on Fragrance Buy. They were kind of hyping them up there, so I figured I gotta try these out, see what they're all about. So links will be down in the description if you decide you want to check any of these fragrances out. Also have a coupon code, save yourself $5 off your first purchase at Fragrance Buy if you decide you want to shop with them. So I'm pretty excited to try these out. So let's quit screwing around and let's get into it. All right, so first up from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi, we have Arwa. Now, I scooped this up from Fragrance Buy for $34, and I don't know anything about most of these fragrances, if not all of these fragrances. From my understanding, they're not necessarily considered a clone house. They might have some similarities, but maybe they're just trying to disguise the fact. We'll find out. Let's dive into these. All right, there we have the box presentation for Ahmed Al Maghribi's Arwa. Nice looking design to this. I do enjoy that geometric pattern. It could be because I'm a bit of a Zelda fan and it's hints of that, but overall, typical cardboard box. Let's take a look at the bottle. All right, so there we have the bottle presentation for Ahmed Al Maghribi's Arwa. Pretty straightforward bottle. It's got kind of some nice added elements to it. These kind of embedded, I don't know, glass patterns here with the kind of triangular doodads happening right there, but overall pretty straightforward bottle. Cap on this is a very lightweight plastic. It's got a little bit of thickness to it, so I don't think it'll crush in my powerful hand, but you gotta be a little bit careful with this. And the atomizer on this sucker, ooh, fat sprays off this. Almost a little pressurized, so decent atomizer will definitely get the job done. But what does this smell like? So right off the jump, just smelling this in the air, citruses, spices, has this nice aromatic touch to it. There's like a pepperiness, and there's this like clean lavender that's working in with like a very orangey citrus. So the citrus and spices working together really nice, like a kind of a masculine style of like citrus spice that's in there with a nice clean aromatic lavender that's working its way through. Really quite nice. It's kind of an energizing, uplifting opening in the air right now. So let's get this on paper. Yeah, so right off the rip, really nice opening. I'm really enjoying this. A very zesty style of orange, has that pepper that's in there. Little hints of some sweetness, like some pink pepper style of sweetness, but there's also this almost balsamic, resiny style of sweetness, really tucked in behind, but it's a different kind of sweetness that's coming through. And it almost kind of like a smoky pepper that's mixing in with that citrus. So it's really kind of boosting that citrus note. It's really quite nice. As this is opening up, this is transitioning a little bit more. So that orange is there, but the zestiness of it has fallen back a little bit, and it's turning more into the spicy aromatic nature to it with those hints of sweetness. A little hints of some earthiness coming through as well. So there's some patchouli that's there, little hints of some musk, and it's getting that kind of dry, ambery texture that's working its way in. So mixing with that aromatic nature, it's producing an interesting kind of texture that's mixed in here with a nice balance of those spices, hints of some sweet, and that zesty orange in this. This is quite nice. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. This is like a nice masculine, citrus, spicy, aromatic, musky amber style of fragrance so far in this opening, and I'm digging it. It does have that masculine edge to it too, but it's still got that kind of lively, energetic, but not so playful kind of summery citrus sort of vibe going on to it, if that makes any sort of sense. But I'm enjoying this. Let's skip to the dry down, see what we're dealing with. All right, we're back with the dry down of Ahmed Al Maghribi Arwa. Been about an hour, let this settle down, do its thing. Really nice dry down on this. This kind of changed in a direction I didn't quite see it going, and it's got almost kind of a barbershop-y style of feel to it. The lavenders come forward, giving it this soapiness that lends itself to that barbershop cleanness that you'd come to expect. But it still has that citrus orange, those spices that's there, but it's added the earthy patchoulis come forward with some musk, a little bit of amber, some like resinous aspects to this as well, and this lavender, which gives it almost kind of like a bit of a smoky edge to it as well, just mixing with those spices really nice, and that clean, aromatic, soapy lavender. Very interesting, but it's a very masculine, barbershop-y style of fragrance, and I'm quite digging this. definitely has that kind of mature vibe going on to it. So it's not like a fun, playful, youthful style of scent DNA to this. This does have kind of more of a gentlemanly, kind of grown-up style of feel to it. And I think it's really well done. I am enjoying this quite a bit. Pretty impressed so far. That's Ahmed Al Maghribi Arwa. All right, next up from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi is Blue. Now I picked this up for $29 at Fragrance Buy, and there's Blue and then there's Blue Oud, and this is the Blue. So just in case, because I've seen both out there. Don't know much about this. I have a feeling this is going to be a blue fragrance, a Bleu de Chanel Sauvage maybe. We'll find out. Let's dig in. All right, so there we have the box presentation for Ahmed Al Maghribi's Blue. Nice looking box, nice thick cardboard. Has these kind of like architectural kind of pattern designs and some shimmery silver on the sides there. Maybe the fragrance house on the top, and it is a slide off, I believe. Yes, it is, to reveal our fragrance bottle sitting in this nice little comfy podium. And there we have the bottle presentation. I like this gradient that's going through, kind of running up from the base all the way to the top there. And it's got kind of a corrugated sort of style going on to it. So overall, nice bottle presentation. Cap on this, got a little bit of metal in here. Yeah, no, it's a nice metal cap to that, so you can't really crush that with your powerful hands. And the atomizer on this, ooh, we have ourselves a pressurized atomizer. Hell yeah. Like me, a good pressurized atomizer. What does this smell like? So right off the jump, just smelling this in the air, definitely has that kind of Bleu de Chanel thing going on. Some like really strong citrus, grapefruit, some lemon, I believe, that's in the air. A little hint of some like fresh spicy mint that's there. Has that little bit of a smoky woodiness to it that's mixed in there. A little bit of an aromatic nature to it, like kind of like a fresh gingery pop to this as well, mixing with those citruses. So it has that Bleu de Chanel sort of vibe. Let's get this on paper and figure it out. Yeah, so right off the rip, smelling this off paper, really nice, like strong citruses coming through. Like I said, that grapefruit, there's the lemon. You're really getting that fresh spicy pop from that ginger that's coming through. Little hints of that fresh spicy mint's also tucked in there. It's not as prominent as that ginger coming through, but the grapefruit, the lemon that's coming through. Hints of some woods. There's a little bit like cedar, sandalwood, vetiver combinations that are happening. So like a wood medley of sorts. There is some added spice in here. There's like the sweetness of a pink pepper and like maybe some nutmeg that's kind of interspliced into there, but like the fresh spiciness of the ginger and the citruses right now are overpowering that. But there is some hints of some spices that are mixed in, sitting on top of that wood. So it definitely has that Bleu de Chanel vibe. I'm not sure if it's a clone or a twist, but it's in that genre. It's in that neighborhood for sure. As it's opening up a little bit more, that citrus is coming down just a little bit. It was really strong citrus in the beginning. I enjoyed it, but it was very strong, but it's starting to die down a little bit. The woods are coming through. It has a bit of an incensey, smoky vibe that's starting to come through. Not a smoky fragrance, but it has that kind of that dry, incensey sort of element coming through, kind of wisping around the woods at this moment. The spices are still lingering there. You're still getting that fresh spiciness coming from that ginger. And there's this kind of little hints of some soft white florals that are kind of just softening things out. I think that's what kind of dialed down that citrus a little bit. But overall, this is a very nice, very like mass appealing style of fragrance for sure. Really nice so far. Let's skip to the dry down, let this unfold, and we'll go from there. All right, we're back with the dry down of Ahmed Al Maghribi's Blue. Been about an hour, let this settle down, do its thing. This did change a little bit in the dry down. It's sort of moved away from the Bleu de Chanel territory. It still has that similar aspects to it, but I find this has come forward a little bit more woody. There's like a vetiver grassiness that's come through. Still holds a little bit of the citrus, but it's more of that fresh spicy ginger that's there, but it is tucked behind a lot more of a kind of a woody, earthy elements that are in here. So patchouli, sandalwood, that vetiver that's working its way through. Little hints of that kind of spiced nutmeg that's there as well. So it's moved a little bit away from kind of the sweet blue aspect, and it's moved into kind of more of the earthy, woody aspect. Still has little hints of those blue aspects, little bits of sweetness coming through that kind of balance things out. Doesn't turn this into a completely woody fragrance, but it definitely has changed. Overall, really nice. I am enjoying this quite a bit. It's blue territory, but it's not like your typical shower jelly blue de Chanel Sauvage style of blue fragrance. Kind of got its own thing going on. For 29 bucks so far, I am digging this one. That's Ahmed Al Maghribi Blue. All right, last but hopefully not least, we have Ahmed Al Maghribi's Hirfah. Now, scoop this up for $44. So this was one of the more pricey ones within the line at Fragrance Buy. So I am curious to see what this one's all about. Let's dive in. All right, so there we have the box presentation for Ahmed Al Maghribi's Hirfah. Typical kind of cardboard box. It's a little bit of a thin cardboard, to be honest, and it's like a little flimsy on the bottom there. So I don't know, for a $44 fragrance, I'm not overly impressed with that. And it is a slide off like so. Oh, it's just the jacket. I thought it was gonna be a slide off top. Tricked me. So there we go, silver box. Typical cardboard box. Let's get to the bottle. All right, so there we have the bottle presentation for Hirfah. Interesting looking bottle. This is very unique, very kind of Middle Eastern vibe. I'm not sure what this is exactly. I've seen this shape before, so comment down below what this is mimicking, if anything, but kind of curious. But it is a nice bottle presentation. Kind of a cheapy plastic on the top here. This is not metal. And the cap on this, also a bit of a cheapy plastic. It does have this kind of clear see-through beveled top to it with the name of the fragrance right there, or name of the brand right there. So, little on the cheapy side. And the atomizer on this, also a pressurized atomizer. All right, the cheapy plastic instead of metal makes up with this pressurized atomizer. Love me a pressurized atomizer. But what does this smell like? So right off the jump, just smelling this in the air, really nice. I wasn't expecting this. I don't really know what I was expecting. Has a nice kind of like piney, fresh sort of vibe going on to it. There's like some aromatics, like lavender, geranium, but there's like a very nice like piney, woody note that's mixing in there as well. And some additional freshness. There's hints of some sweetness I can't put my finger on right now, but really nice opening. It's like very, very fresh, woodsy style of opening. Like yeah, let's get this on test strip. I'm excited. Yeah, so right off the rip, just smelling this off paper, very interesting combination of notes here. It's got this kind of, this lime style of citrus, a little bit of some fruity sweetness, like an apple-y sweetness, but like a sour apple sweetness, mixing with lavender, geranium, and this pine note. And like those aromatics, it's not like a clean lavender, it's kind of just an aromatic lavender that's really accentuating that pine. The pine note in this is really coming forward. And it's kind of just those added citruses and sweetness are just kind of like around the edges. It's really about this pine note right now. It's very nice. As this is opening up a little bit more, it's definitely taking on more of kind of a woody aromatic feel. Almost has a little hint of some like oud in the base or something like that. It doesn't have like an overly Middle Eastern oudy sort of vibe going on to it, but there's hints of it there. Like you can definitely tell that there's just like a little kiss of that Middle Eastern flavor that's happening with that oud, but like very aromatic, woody style of fragrance, and that pine really plays nice with those aromatics, and just those little kisses of that sweetness are still there. It's not a sweet fragrance, but it's just enough to kind of pull this down from being like an overly woody, overly aromatic fragrance. Really nicely balanced is what I'm saying. A little bit of sandalwood starting to poke through, so it's starting to smooth out. Like I said, it was a very sharp, piney style of opening with those aromatics. But the sandalwood starting to smooth things out, adding to that woody profile. Really quite nice. Let's skip to the dry down, see how this unfolds, and we'll go from there. All right, so we're back with the dry down of Ahmed Al Maghribi Hirfah. Been an hour, let this settle down, do its thing. This is a beautiful fragrance. Of the three, this so far is my favorite. The green apple that I had kind of, like that sour sweet apple I had picked up in the opening, seems to have come out more somehow, and it's mixing with that pine, the aromatic nature and the woody notes that are in here, and it's just absolutely like a really interesting but really nice combination of that sharp piney woods with like some nice sour sweetness and just a little bits of aromatics tucked in here. It's got just a really nice woody freshness with just the right balance of some sweet aspects to it, little bits of some fresh spicy aromatics mixed in there. This is just a gorgeous fragrance. This is probably gonna be my scent of the day, to be quite honest. A very spring vibe, like a fresh, on the edge of the woods, near like a fresh creek sort of vibe going on to this one, with that piney note that's just the star of the show, but the way it balances off with these other notes is just absolutely fantastic. Oh, definitely a winner. And for 44 bucks, a pending performance, I think this is definitely gonna be bang for your buck, a great fragrance to own. But I'm gonna do a full review. I'll let you guys know how this performs and let you know if that price tag is worth it. But so far, scent profile, definitely impressed. That's Ahmed Al Maghribi Hirfah. All right, so there you have it. That's my first first impression of the Ahmed Al Maghribi line, but I want to hear from you guys. What are some other Ahmed Al Maghribi fragrances that I definitely need to be checking out? Comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love getting your different recommendations, your hidden gems, different tastes and scent profiles. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.